How many psychologists do you need to change a light bulb? Do you know the answer? The answer is but one psychologist, but it will take 9 sessions at least. So that brings me to the whole question of how long should therapy last? And do we really need therapy at times when we're feeling fragile? Do we have some resilience? Do we have some inner resources that we can tap into? Let me tell you a story that happened in my practice, I'm guessing 15 years ago. Marilyn, for purposes of confidentiality, I'm just giving you a name, called me, and she was a former patient of mine, and she said, "Would you please help my mother? But she hasn't left the home since Dad died, and I really am worried about her. I think she used to be such a social butterfly, and now she's lost the will to live." Normally, I don't do house visits, but for Marilyn, I said sure I would. So I bundled up, it was in the heart of winter in Alberta, and went to see her mother. As I rang the doorbell, Marilyn's mother looked at me. Her name was Iris, and she growled at me, "What are you doing here?" I put one foot into the doorway and I said to her, "Marilyn asked me to come and visit you." "Oh," she said angrily, "I don't need therapy. Why do you think I need therapy?" I said, "Well, let me tell you something. I see you have some gorgeous African violets in full bloom, and I seem to have the power to kill mine. Every time I try to grow an African violet in my office, I don't know what happens, but it does." And she said to me, "You know, I'll teach you how to do that, provided you don't come back to my house ever again and tell me I need therapy." I agreed. Her eyes sparkled, they lit up like a Christmas tree. All of a sudden, she had this energy that she didn't have before. And I tell you, those irises were different shades of lilac, and they were in full bloom. So she explained to me that I had to pour the water in the center of the plant, not on the exterior, which obviously I was doing, and my plant was slowly dying in spite of its efforts to do breaststroke. It was dying. So then I said to her, "How would it be for you to look in the obituary column of the journal, the newspaper, and carry some violets to recent widows?" And she said to me, "Sure, I can do that, provided you stick to your word and you don't come back ever again." I said, "Sure, I won't." Guess what happened? A couple of months later, Marilyn, the daughter, called me and said, "What did you do to my mother?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, she's become alive again. She's going out, she's socializing. I've got back my mom. Whatever you did, keep on doing it." And I said to her, "Okay." Sort of put a smile on my face, That sometimes the patient knows better than we. And sometimes the patient is empowered but doesn't know that they have those skills within them as yet. So remember what Viktor Frankl said? "Without hope there is no meaning. Without meaning there is no hope." And I hope after you've listened to this, you'll tap into your inner resources and realize that you don't have to put your life on pause. You've got some strengths within you. Bye now.